Xyz monsters. A summoning enigma. After NRD had been exposed to react to the wills of humans, all NRD production had to shut down, meaning synchro monsters were now illegal. However, that didn't stop a mysterious new force from coming to our world. People rapidly caught on to how Xyz monsters worked and sought to use it as an alternative energy source, which seemed to work fine as it's a cleaner source than NRD, but something's been bothering me. Reports of mysterious and powerful Xyz monsters called number monsters have been starting to show up after the original Xyz monsters showed. They all had an ability attached to them, where if they would be destroyed by a non-number, they aren't. But the user still takes the damage. With no other choice, someone has to go after the numbers to figure out what they are. So, it's time to hunt! We've covered Utopia, now it's time to cover the dragon that Utopia has a hard time kicking the ass of. The Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon! Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon is basically the ultimate form of anti-Xyz, being able to banish itself so it can't be hurt by an Xyz, and whatever overlay units that banished monster had, it's now Galaxy Eyes as it comes back with 500 attack per overlay unit. Galaxy Eyes is also supported heavily by Photon, Galaxy, and Cypher! I get that people probably like Cypher, although it really didn't need to exist, because Galaxy and Photon is all the power Galaxy Eyes really needs. Galaxy Eyes, from my experience, is meant to be get out Galaxy Eyes and get out another level 8 Galaxy Eyes, or a Galaxy Monster, and overlay them into any of the rank 8 Galaxy Eyes monsters to be able to destroy your opponent as brutally as possible. In the anime, photons are meant to be the primary archetype to fight numbers, although in real life, all they do is just make it easier to get out Galaxy Eyes using multiple photon-based Xyz monsters. Galaxy monsters were made to help the little cataclysmic scourge by allowing themselves to be overlay material for a lot of rank 8 monsters, some of them being numbers. Also, despite numbers having their own number protection, it's not actually a thing because it's not written on the number cards. I don't make the rules, Konami does. But anyway, these numbers and other rank 8 Xyz monsters allow you to do a variety of things, from specifically negating literally everything on the field, to negating everything on the field and gaining attack for it, to brutally destroying your opponent in one turn, to stealing your opponent's monster, to destroying your opponent's monster multiple times, to making light monsters untargetable. Really, Cypher? Despite most of the Xyz monsters being dragons, there is also one Xyz monster known as the Photon Lord, and he is basically the only Xyz monster you would ever want to play turn 1. Basically, the Photon Lord lets you, on your opponent's turn only, add a Galaxy card from your deck to your hand, or attach it to your Photon Lord as material, and if your opponent activates a monster effect, you can use an overlay unit on the Photon Lord to just negate it for free. And if you discarded a Galaxy monster as the overlay unit, then the monster goes bye-bye. Galaxy Eyes also somehow got into the brains and figured out how to link themselves into a new monster known as Galaxy Eyes Soul Flare Dragon. Soul Flare is mostly just a recycle of Galaxy Photon or Galaxy Eyes monster, but at the same time, that recycle could lead into way more complex combos. If you're feeling crazy, there is also a slight bit of room for a specific monster known as Cyber Dragon Nova because of two monsters known as Galaxy Soldier and Galaxy Soldier. Basically, the way that Galaxy Soldier works is that you discard one light monster in your hand to special summon it, and then you can search out a Galaxy monster, and that includes Galaxy Soldier. So you can search out the other Galaxy Soldier, summon it with its own effect again, and then start overlaying into Cyber Dragon Infinity, so you have a free negate. Galaxy Eyes can be brutal in a lot of circumstances, although it doesn't really have much power when it comes to negating, and sometimes you really have to think hard about what you can do if you do end up getting negated. So far though, it has been pretty consistent and can lead to pretty early games if you know what you're doing. So normally, searchability is really good. Am I right?
Yes.
In this sort of case, it can be a tiny bit detrimental, because Galaxy Eyes has a lot of search potential to be able to get out either photons, galaxies, Galaxy Eyes, not Cyber Dragons though, that only works if you use Galaxy's Soldier. But basically, Galaxy Eyes has so many search options that there's not really much room to sneak in other cards for more utility unless you somehow manage to sneak in Burst Stream. I'm thinking of Blue Eyes. Photon Stream of Destruction, or Tachyon Transmigration for either a free banish or free negate. Aside from its faults, Galaxy Eyes is a very good option in both Master Duel and Duel Links if you do need something to start off with. Though, I will admit, Galaxy Eyes in Duel Links makes use of a Galaxy Reborn spell, which is not the name of it, but that's what I remember from it. That brings back Galaxy Eyes. You use a skill to throw it in there in the first place, and you can summon a 4,000 attack point Exceeds monster with only Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon as material. With that, number hunters around should know which monster to rely on in the heat of searching for numbers. But now that that's settled, I heard your German engineer has a lot more new tricks.